Welcome to the Fret Prince Podcast, improvisation topics for guitars.
Hello, and welcome to this episode. Today we're going to begin a series on the dominant chords and some of the associated scales. So we'll use G as our example root note. And we'll come up with just a couple areas on the neck to play. So just to get us situated, I'll be talking about this third fret here on the sixth string as a root note and the fifth string, 10th fret. So those two spots. And so we will mostly think about these three notes, the G, the F, and the B. G, B, and the F. Okay, so here I am in third position, first finger on the sixth string, third fret, second finger on the fourth string, third fret, and third finger on the fourth fret, third string. Okay, so we'll begin with the Mixolydian mode to describe this chord. And so we'll start with a scale. If we think about this, we're basically using notes that are in the key of C. So I'm just playing a C major scale here. But we're thinking of them and how they relate to this current harmony of the G7. So here I am on the third fret of the sixth string, and then fifth fret. Fifth string, 2, 3, 5, and fourth string, 2, 3, and 5. Okay, and then why don't we take this? We'll add another note here. So I'm playing the D on the fifth string, fifth fret. Okay, so we have root, 5, flat 7, and 3. And why don't we play the scale working up to that third string this time? So we have sixth string, we have 3, 5. Fifth string, we have 2, 3, 5. Fourth string, we have 2, 3, 5. And then third string, 2 and 4. So it's not a bad idea to play scale maybe up to the top note of your chord and then back down after repeating the chord. That way we're really hearing the sound of it. So what do we have involved with this chord? If we're using Mixolydian, then we have natural 13s. So I'm playing the fifth fret on the second string, and that's my 13. And then we have natural 9s. So I'm adding the fifth fret on the first string there. So this would be a nice chord to play on this. And what else do we have? We also have natural 5. We have the 11 also. So that's located on the second string, first fret. Now oftentimes that 11 will kind of replace the third, and so we get this suspended sound with the flat 7. So what I'm doing here is barring with the first 4 strings, and then I have third finger on the third string, fifth fret. Okay, and we could add the 13 to that. We could add the 9 to that. Could just play it with the root again too. Okay, so those are some of the extensions that we would expect to find with Mixolydian. Well, why don't we try going up to the 10th fret on the 5th string. Okay, and so I have first finger on the 4th string, 9th fret, second finger on the 5th string, 10th fret, third finger on the 3rd string, 10th fret. Okay. All right, well, why don't we try the scale? So keep in mind that the C major scale in this position, be around here. Okay, and we're just taking the scale and we're thinking about it in terms of the G. So I'm starting on G here. So 5th string, we have 10th fret, 12th fret. 4th string, we have 9, 10, and 12. 3rd string, we have 9, 10, and 12. And then back down. Okay, great. So why don't we try chord voicing? I'm here playing like this chord. So we have that 3 and the 7. I'm kind of leaving that note on the 5th string behind. So we'll play around with this a little bit. Why don't we talked about the 9, so that would be located on the 2nd string, 10th fret. Okay, so we could add that. We talked about the 13th, so that would be on the 12th fret of the 1st string. So we have a 9 and the 13 there. All right, so if you do play these like before, you can also think about playing like that chord that we played before on the low 4 strings, on the middle 4 strings, and also playing up to that high note. I'm playing back down. Okay, so let's go back to the chord voicing here. So if we do want to play the 11, we could play that. That's on the 8th fret of the 1st string. And as I mentioned before, we might try replacing the 3 with the 11 to get a suspended sound. So let's try that out. Okay. And then, of course, we could add the 9 and the 13 in there too. Okay, so this mode and these chords work very well. Moving to major chord, for example, C major. All right, and it works really well if you just want to vamp on the 5 chord, or to vamp on the 5, 7 with a sus, so like G7, sus4. So it's a mode that's very useful for that, and then keep in mind it shares all the same notes of the tonic key if it's used as a 5 chord. All right, well, great. I hope you found this useful, and in the next episode, we'll talk about the 5 chord or the dominant chord in minor as minor resolved to minor. Thanks for listening, and I hope you did enjoy this episode. Please leave a comment or question, or send me an email. Let me know what you're working on. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and you can reach me at fretprince.com.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Fret Prince podcast. Be sure to rate and subscribe. You can also follow on Twitter and Facebook. Visit fretprince.com for articles, video, and updates.